Grit with Grace is brought to you by Zoetis. Your dedication runs deep, and it fuels everything Zoetis does. To protect and support cattle and those who care for them, we are born of the bond. Learn more at bornofthebond.com.
Well, the lengths a parent will go to save a child knows no end. And for one father, it's his quick thinking and courageous decision that helped save his 6-year-old son. It's a remarkable rescue this Father's Day weekend about a father and son who were greeted with grit and grace. May 10th was a day just like any other for the Leseberg family. Brandon was working cows while his sons Louie and Everett played and then stopped for a drink out of this water spigot. And as Brandon closed the gate, he noticed Louie, who was just standing a few feet away seconds before, was nowhere to be seen.
And I asked Everett what was wrong, and Everett said Louie fell in the hole, and he pointed there, and it was just a tiny hole through the board.
What was a board covering up this well had rotted out in the middle. And as the board gave in, the 6-year-old fell 70 feet straight down into frigid water.
And I bet that was only just a matter of a few seconds. And I didn't think. I ran over to that hole that looked, not much bigger than a basketball. And I didn't see anything and I couldn't hear anything until a couple more seconds. And I heard, a splash and some gasping. And there was no thinking.
With the sounds of his son drowning, Brandon knew time wasn't an option. So without thinking twice, he jumped in.
I just jumped through that hole in the board, obviously I made it a lot bigger. But you don't think. I was just looking for the fastest way down there.
Without knowing just how far down Louie was, Brandon says about halfway down, something told him to reach out.
There was a pipe. Turns out after I jumped down and my eyes adjusted, it was quite a ways. It felt like half the well when I looked up, and I was able to grab a hold of the pipe that goes down to the well motor and stop my descent.
Brandon said he would free fall and then reach out to the pipe to stop himself. He did that 3 times, all while Louie was still screaming for help.
Once we were down there, Louie had enough confidence in me. He said, all right, Dad, you can pull us out now, because the pipe to the well motor. And I said no, because the last 20 feet were so slick I couldn't hold on to it. It was just like a zip line into the water.
As Brandon reached the water, he grabbed Louie.
I still had a hold of that pipe, and I just braced both my feet up there and grabbed Louie and put him on my chest, because that water, I don't know, we never took the temp on it, but I'm sure it was close to 50, if not colder, and he was already shivering.
But as Brandon got to the bottom...
Didn't you say, Daddy, I love you, thank you for saving me?
Yeah.
He knew there was no way to climb back up.
He goes, Dad, how are we going to get out? I said, your brother Everett's going to have to save us. And so he goes, how is he going to do that? And I said, he's going to have to run to the road.
And so from 70 feet down in the dark well, Brandon yelled up.
So I just told Everett he was going to have to be a big boy and run out and stand by the mailbox until somebody drove by. And
he said,
he did that. Be a big boy. Be a big boy for us. You got to save us.
And that's exactly what the 3-year-old did.
Everett was standing along the road, and we just couldn't figure out why he was standing there. So we stopped, and he was saying, my daddy's in a hole.
As the McKinneys reached the farm, they thought Brandon was in a hole somewhere in the pasture, but then noticed the 4-wheeler still running.
And I said, okay, show me where he's at. And he pointed down in that well. And then I yelled at Mark.
Well, I just jumped out of the pickup and called 911.
Hutchinson County 911, where's your emergency?
Yes, this is Mark McKinney. I need some help. A guy fell in the well, the boy in the well.
Okay, what's the address?
I don't know, it's Scott Leseberg's farm.
How far did they fall?
I don't know, probably 40, 50 foot.
Okay, are they complaining of any injuries?
I don't know. They just said he needed help. He went down to get his boy out of the well. I have no idea.
You know how old they may possibly be?
I have no clue, ma'am. I just need some help.
Mark told Christy to call their neighbor.
I was so emotional, I didn't even know if he could get even out of what I was trying to tell him.
That neighbor was Dan Athens, a farmer who lives just right up the road.
When she first called, she was pretty distraught, and what I got out of it was Brandon fell. Okay, I didn't know where and then she finally said south of your house, so I knew it was Brandon Leseberg. And then she got out that he fell into the well.
Thinking it was just Brandon in the well, he acted fast.
I knew how deep my well was. It's 140 foot. And so I thought, I'm gonna grab a barn rope. I didn't even know how long it was.
As Dan pulled up to the well, the 911 call captured his first words.
Brandon, Dan Ethan, we're gonna try to put the rope down to you.
And he said, okay, we're gonna send Louie up first. And that's the first that I knew that he was in the well.
Dan says in that instant, his heart sank as Dan's son was also by his side.
Oh, your other boys down there?
As Dan sent the rope down to get Louie, he didn't know just how far down they actually were.
But the rope Dan brought was like 85 foot long, and we used about every bit of that rope to get him out of there.
But as he pulled the 6-year-old up, he was heavier than Dan thought.
And then all of a sudden something broke free and it got lighter. Well, when he got up here, he had the wires wrapped around his arm, and I think it was just pulling the pump up and dragging on the side of the well.
And at that time, Eric Duncan, who works on the farm, and Jacob McKinney also showed up to help.
We finished pulling him up, and I had a hold of the rope right above his hands, and I just sat him on my knee while they got him untangled.
Took the wires off of him. So.
And then I knew I had a bunch of hoodies left in my pickup, so I just picked him up, took him to pickup, and wrapped him up and turned the heater on as high as I could.
Less than 9 minutes after the 911 call was initially made, Louie was out.
You're out, buddy. You're out. You're out. We'll get you in pickup, get you warmed up, bud.
With Brandon still at the bottom of the well, the 5 farmers knew he would be too heavy to just pull him up with the rope.
Yeah, we went through here, didn't we?
Yep, and then around that.
So they used what was left of the old windmill as a hoist.
We just started pulling. And I hollered down to Brandon, are you able to help pull yourself up on the pipe? And he said, yeah. I said, you ready to go? And he said, let's go. So we started pulling.
As Brandon reached the top, he says he collapsed from bracing himself against the walls of the well for so long.
I was a little more exhausted than I thought. The adrenaline, that's what keeps you going in a situation like that.
It was those 5 farmers who rescued Louie and Brandon before the ambulance had even reached the farm. A series of events that didn't happen by chance, as Brandon remembers what he and Louie did while their 3-year-old son and brother ran to get help.
What did we do? Did we pray?
Mm-hmm.
Did we pray a lot?
Yeah.
You asked me who was going to save us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who saved us? And who helped him?
God.
And who helped us?
God.
Were there angels all around?
Mm-hmm.
Had to be.
Well, I think the hero here is probably Everett, sending him out to the highway to stop for somebody for help. What would be going through Dad's mind is, okay, yeah, I got my son in the well. How am I going to get help here? And what a trooper to go out there. He's the hero here, not us. We're just neighbors to help anytime anybody needs anything.
5 farmers and 1 dramatic rescue.
I can remember being in the bottom of the well, and Louie said, Dad, are you crying? I said, no, this is my happy laugh. That's all I could hear.
As Brandon relives the fall, he says it wasn't a coincidence he and Louie both survived with only a few scratches.
Literally, we had about 2 foot looking back now, or 1.5 feet to clear everything to where it was just a free fall, and we both did that. So there's too many good things that happened that you can't mark that as luck or coincidence. It was just fortunate.
The outcome is one not even those who witnessed it can explain.
Alive is amazing.
Yeah,
Don't know how.
Yeah, you hear about people falling in the well, but you don't ever hear about that outcome. It's just, I don't know. It was crazy.
That's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Not to be alive.
Yep.
We have angels looking after us. God was up there. There must be something special He wants to do with these boys, is all I know. So we're looking for big things anyways.
As the links of their father's love on that May Day proved to be powerful and unbreakable. How much do you love your daddy for saving you?
A lot.
Brandon says he and the boys now count windmills on their drives, making sure they're well aware. And he agreed to share their story, hoping it would help encourage others to cap wells with concrete and possibly save another life.
Over 10,000 years ago, mankind first domesticated cattle. At this exact same time, cattle domesticated us. Our two species have worked together and taken care of each other for centuries. Zoetis is today's advanced answer to that ancient bond. We help make it stronger, healthier, more robust. We are born of the bond.